There are moments, albeit very rare and in between, when the inherently litigious nature of the American society can come in handy. Such a moment is the opportunity presented by the State University of New York for a class action lawsuit for defamation of white people. Let's explore. Hello everyone and welcome to the Freedom Alternative. There comes a time in life when one ought to fight fire with fire, and when it comes to the inherently racist establishments of most American universities, that time is about right now. Breitbart titles, University Apologies for Names of Stop White People Course, and goes like this, quote, the State University of New York, Binghamton, has come under fire this week after a student publication revealed that the state-funded university offers a course entitled Stop White People, which was designed to help residential advisors deal with white students who ignore the concept of white privilege. After the story received national attention, administrators at Binghamton were quick to apologize for the course's title, claiming that it was modeled off the online hashtag StopWhitePeople2K16, which has circulated online throughout various blogs and forums. Binghamton University's Vice President for Student Affairs, Brian Rose, published a message to the university's website attempting to clarify that the course's title wasn't supposed to be taken seriously. Quote, for those who are familiar with the hashtag used in the title, it was understood not to be literal, end quote, wrote Rose, reaffirming what he stated in his previous message to the public. Nonetheless, he continued, the program should not have been so titled. Out of context, it is offensive and alarming, and that was not the intent. Now you can read more about the event from the Binghamton Review, the libertarian and conservative newspaper of Binghamton University. And let's read the ending of that longish quote. So, quote, naturally, the backlash against the university has also extended to the 3 residential assistants who hosted the event. In an effort to prevent the further involvement of these 3 individuals, please understand that Binghamton Review does not endorse any of the hateful attention these RAs have received. Their names have been redacted from the image posted alongside our original article, and hopefully other news outlets will do the same. These 3 RAs chose to host this event and therefore must accept the consequences that come alongside choosing such a provocative, distasteful title. That does not mean, however, that they deserve to be excluded from further calm discussions on the topics they attempted to talk about in the first place. Binghamton Review does not apologize for criticizing the event's title, and we do not regret shedding light on an issue that so many people clearly have a strong opinion on. We do, however, hope that out of respect for the university's efforts to apologize for the event's title, the culmination of this controversy can be considered progress towards peaceful discussion on this campus. As Rose wrote at the end of today's message, above all, I ask each of you to consider the purpose and impact of your response to this story, and let this be a teachable moment for us all. Binghamton Review agrees wholeheartedly with this sentiment, and we hope to continue supporting the understanding, compassionate environment Binghamton University strives to achieve. No. No. That most definitely is not the way to react. These university cucks have been demonizing whites, and particularly straight white Christian men, for at least 30 years now. In my book, the time for compassionate environments, let alone calm discussions, is long over. Attempting to reason with leftists is a waste of everyone's time, and it's time non-leftists realize that and act upon that realization. I mean, why waste time with the 1,000,000th calm discussion when the previous 999,999 discussions amounted to exactly nothing? Why continue to act upon an obviously false and clearly mythological premise that the leftists act in good faith? Now, if I were a student there, I would seek legal counsel for a class action lawsuit against the university, with white people being the consumers harmed by the business. That would be the university. Now this may sound like overreacting, but this is exactly how you make progressives back the fuck off. For decades, whites have been rolling over and ignored the outright fascist rhetoric that keeps on coming from virtually all of the academe. And there has to be a moment when that stops. Now, many of you may say that such a suit may not be winnable, and that may indeed be true, though you never know. There are judges out there who are looking forward to strike a blow to political correctness. But the point of such an action isn't necessarily one of outright winning. There is such thing as a moral victory, namely a lawsuit whose actual result in court is irrelevant, but whose cultural effects are huge. One such example are the string of lawsuits filed in the late 80s and early 90s by groups such as VOCAL, which stands for Victims of Child Abuse Legislation. Most of those trials ended with minuscule compensations or even lost by the plaintiffs, but their very existence eventually pushed a greater consciousness in the wider public about the evils of false allegations of pedophilia and about police misconduct in such cases, which in turn produced changes in policies and legislation. Now I contend that the same thing needs to happen in these cases too. A few resounding lawsuits by white people that forces the anti-white racists to defend their conduct in court, preferably in front of a jury, and with as much media coverage as possible. Now, the good news is that the cathedral media would be all over such a trial to virtue signal all over the place, so the free publicity is almost guaranteed. And you can always count on the progressives to get in line for a good circle jerk of virtue signaling. The thing is, these people will never stop until severe consequences, included but not limited to financial consequences, are being inflicted upon them. And lawsuits are, in my opinion, a far better option than going full collectivist. Just saying. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around on Freedom Alternative.